everybody, it's Miss Krista. Hi to all my friends. Hi Farah and Evan and Mason and Lucas. I miss you guys very much and I thought you might enjoy hearing a story while we're apart. This is one of my favorites. You know I love Curious George. This book is Curious George Makes Pancakes. Today I'm reading to you from my dining room, so you might be able to see some pictures of people that you've seen before. There's Hannah, and there's Fletcher, and there's Kayla. And do you want to see what my dining room looks like? Here, I'm going to move this around a little bit. So over here, oh, there's the china cabinet. Ooh, there's my living room. And wait, I'm going to tip it down a little bit so you can see what's on my table. I made pancakes. And look, I have a pancake that has an L for Lucas and an E for Evan and an M for Mason. Oh, can I do it? And an F. There is it. Come on, F. F for Farah. I'm going to turn you back around now. All right, so let's get going with our story. I'm going to do the best I can, okay? Okay. Curious George Makes Pancakes by Margaret and H.A. Ray. They wrote the story. Let's see. There he is. There's George. Starting to put blueberries on pancakes, just like the ones I made. This is George. George was a good little monkey and always very curious. One morning, the man with the yellow hat woke George early. "Time to get up, George," he said. "The pancake breakfast is today." George loved the pancake breakfast. It was a fundraiser held every year to make money for special programs at the Children's Hospital. Besides eating pancakes, there were all kinds of games to play. Even the mayor came to play and eat. But first he gave a welcome speech. Look at all those people out there. What do you see? It looks like, oh, maybe there's the mayor giving his speech. Lots of tables in here for people to eat their pancakes. Oh, I see George. There he is with the man with the yellow hat. I'm going to come on this side and we can see a little better. "Thank you all for coming," the mayor said. "We appreciate your generous support." He thanked all the volunteers who were helping that day. And finally he said, "Please enjoy yourselves. And the pancakes." Ooh, there they are. When the mayor finished, the man with the yellow hat said, "George, I'm going to buy our tickets. Please wait here and don't be too curious." George waited like a good little monkey, but something smelled good. Could it be the pancakes? George was curious. He followed the delicious smell and found a whole griddle full of pancakes. George watched as a man poured little batter circles and flipped them in the air. It looked like fun to make pancakes. George wanted to help. On a table near the griddle was a basket full of blueberries. These pancakes need blueberries, George thought, and he sprinkled some on top. Meanwhile, the man at the griddle was so busy he didn't notice the little monkey helping him. The line grew and grew. George's pancakes were a hit, and soon everyone wanted them, and the man could not keep up. "Please wait," he said to somebody holding an empty plate. "I need to find an assistant to help me." And just like that, he was gone. George looked at the people waiting in line and then at the empty griddle. Why, he could make pancakes. He could be the assistant. George poured the batter into nice round circles. Next, he added blueberries. He waited for just a minute to let the pancakes cook. Then he flipped them over. And last, he added syrup. The line for the pancakes was enormous. But with 4 hands, George made quite a chef, and no one's plate was empty for long. "I've been coming to this pancake breakfast for years," a man said. but I've never seen pancakes made like this before. I've never eaten this many pancakes before, said a girl. I didn't even like pancakes before, said another girl, and they all lined up for more. When the man returned with a new assistant, he was shocked to see a monkey making pancakes. "This is no place for a monkey," he yelled, and he began to chase George. George hadn't meant to cause trouble. He'd only wanted to help. Now he only wanted to get away. Quickly, George found a place to hide, and the man and his assistant ran right by. But where did George go? Can you see him? Look closely. When it was safe to come out, George jumped down. He was covered in syrup like a pancake, and he was sticking to everything. George was curious. Could these napkins help him get clean? Let's see. Uh-oh. Ooh. No, the napkins only made it worse. What George needed was some water to wash with. Why, here was the perfect thing. Well, George climbed in. This would do the trick for a sticky monkey. George sat on the bench and splashed himself with water. But all of a sudden, splash! George was in the water. What a surprise! George climbed up again and splashed back down. He'd never been in a dunk tank before, and he'd never had so much fun getting clean. You see that? So he sits on the platform, and then the children throw a ball, and if it hits that right there, then the ball bounces on it, and it makes the platform dip down, and then George slips off and goes splash into the water. Soon everyone was having fun, and the line of the dunk tank grew even longer than the line for the pancakes. Later, the mayor came by. "I've heard all about your delicious pancakes," he said. "You've made our fundraiser a big success, and I have a special favor to ask you." At the end of the day, George got to present the money from the fundraiser to the president of the hospital. "Thanks to you, George. This has been the best year ever," she said. "Will you come back and make pancakes again next year?" George nodded, and everybody cheered. Hooray! Hooray for George! And hooray for pancakes! And that is the end of our story. Now, on the back of lots of Curious George books, they list the titles of other books about Curious George. And I'm just going to point out a couple that are ones I really like. So here's one over here. Curious George Goes to a Chocolate Factory. Oh, that's a great one. That one's good. And then also I really like Curious George in the Snow. And then there's the classic ones down here. Oh, here's one we read in class. Curious George Flies a Kite. My favorite one is this one. Curious George Goes to the Hospital. Oh, that was my favorite when I was little. I love that story. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed our book today. Curious George Makes Pancakes. I hope you're reading books at home too. And if you have any that you would like me to read out loud and record on video, please have your mommies or daddies let me know. Anyway, I miss you guys and I hope you're doing really great. Love you. Mwah.